traffic, KLM 446 lining up 26 left. Gatwick traffic, KLM 446 taking off 26 left. Gatwick traffic, KLM 446 departed 26 left for frame 1 Mike.
Good afternoon, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome to a very rare mid-afternoon stream. These don't happen very often, but who knows, as we get closer to the festive season, I may get a little bit more time so we can enjoy more streams like this. Off to a new destination today. We've never been here before. Apologies for the pronunciation. I'm going to go with Ljubljana. And that's it. Either that or it's Lima Juliet. That is much easier to say. We are at Gatwick and we're on VATSIM. Looking forward to this flight, which is a real world flight as well. Operates, I think it's sort of every other day from Gatwick. And we have also got the real world call sign as well for anyone that likes to check things out. Flight Radar 24. Our flight today is Easy 96 Fox Hotel. Not the greatest call sign, but not the worst. Evening HD. Evening? It's not evening, it's afternoon. Ljubljana. Yeah, that's straightforward enough, isn't it? But it looks very scary on paper to try and produce something like that. Far too many Y's, or is it J's? Too many J's in that name. But anyway, great to see so many of you getting on board for this flight today. Hello, ISO, Flight Sim 123, Michael the Airman. Barry Bartson, what's up with everyone Christmasing already? It's only the 2nd of December. Barry, I don't mind Christmas in December. Christmas is great in December. I don't like it in October. So we have got sort of semi-festive music going on. I don't mind that too much either. Cardinal 22, Adolfo, Simon Schmidt, Roxanne, and Nick. See, Nick's loving the Xmas music. Xmas music is nice. Great to see RoxG and Javan Diva on Twitch as well. We are on Twitch, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. The operational flight plan has been pinned in the chat. So, looking forward to a great flight today. Look at the weather as well. It's a little bit cold, a little bit snowy where we are headed. Barry, you say it's pronounced Ljubljana? Seriously, we're going to get about 20 different pronunciations of that today. I guarantee it. Nick, where is LJ? Nobody knows, Nick. We can't pronounce it. Cube Day, Pokey 83201, and Owen 324. Good to have you on board as well. Hugh, am I a VATSIM approved pilot? I don't think there is such thing other than passing the test, which you have to pass now when you sign up to VATSIM. Other than that, anybody can fly on VATSIM, but it's worthwhile knowing a little bit about what you are doing, of course. Right, we're going to go ahead and get set up. Decent flight time as well. We've got all afternoon together. We've got about a couple of hours flight time today. I think it's a little bit less than that, but by the time we've set everything up, it's going to be a decent length stream as well. Okay, TM, hello to you. Simon, maybe we'll see some more snow today. Being amazing seeing the patches of the snow on the last stream. That was fantastic. That's the first time I've experienced it in the simulator as well. It's also going to be kind of a nighttime landing as well. The sun obviously setting and we're heading eastbound. So yeah. Barry, the capital of Slovenia, you go there often for work. Ah, there you go. Right, well, we have got the aircraft in a turnaround state for us. So let's just go ahead and go through the usual checks. I'm just going to turn off the first officer's displays, of course. Claw back those frame rates whilst we are here in a very high demanding Gatwick airport. Okay, so have I got the current QNH is 1012 here in Gatwick. I'm also just going to see if we've got any ATIS. No, it's Unicom all the way for the time being. We may get some during the flight. It might light up as we're flying. So QNH is 1012, and we're on Unicom. Also monitoring 1215. We've got the switching panel. We've got thrust levers, landing gear, everything is where it should be. Parking brake is on and cockpit door is open. Transponders to standby. Okay, let's come up to the FCU. I didn't show you the overhead, but the overhead is all fine. We've got the fuel pumps off and packs are also off as well. Before we go any further, let's get the APU master on. 1, 2, 3. And now we'll call our fuel truck over and we'll get that sorted. Fuel today, looking at the weather that we've got and the plug fuel. So plug fuel is 6.1 tonne. I'm going to take 7. Yeah, I'm taking 7 tonne, and I don't mind spending Stelios's money. It's not Stelios anymore, though, is it? Or not directly. Let's go with 7 tonne in there, which is going to take about 4 minutes to refuel. So that's on its way now. Okay, so refueling is underway. Let's just carry on the setup. The FCU, our initial climb out is going to be 4,000, although with no ATC, of course, we'll be able to clear ourselves up to higher nice and early. And of course, we've got all the screens on. Instrument panel is all fine. Iris is nicely aligned. We'll just check the pressure status as well. Yeah, that's all looking good. And there it is, 1 hour 41 minutes is our flight time today. Good long flight, probably the longest flight we've done in a while, so it's great time for any of you that have in the past have been on and perhaps not had a chance to ask questions that you may have wanted to. So, I'm going to go to the weights and bounds pages, and I know technically we get the payload, we get the APU on before popping the payload in, but I am going to get boarding started here because it does take a little longer than it used to. Right, so boarding the weights is underway, and let's see, how's that APU doing? APU is on. Let's get the APU bleed started. Give that a minute, and then we can get the packs on. Passengers can come on board as well. Paul, is there a live weather bug? Well, we'll keep an eye on that, which is a shame. Although if the live weather bug only sort of is a problem above flight level 230, then we can just go to default weather there. Then when coming back into Ljubljana, then we can hopefully put live weather back on and enjoy a decent, exciting condition, as Oki has called it. So we shall try that. Right, so that's all been set up. Let's just check. We've got 3 nav green. We're going to go to the aircraft status page. There we go. We've got the correct engine data profile loaded in, and we've got a new Eric cycle valid from today. Init page then. Let's get our ACARS request in. That's all uploaded nicely. Right, let's check a few details. So our alternate is Lima Delta Zulu Alpha, and our flight number today, as we've already stated, is easy, what was it? 96 Fox Hotel. Cost index of 8, flight level 390, minus 60 on the flight plan, so let's go ahead and alter that. Tropopause is 27,300 feet. Alright, so our departure out of London Gatwick is going to be 26 left. It's the MIMFO 1 mic. And then once we've inserted that, the arrival is planned runway 30, and that is the Vecan to Romeo arrival. To November, to Romeo, and that is via... Oh, where's my charts gone? I always forget to get those loaded up. Let's have a quick look. So that is going to be via... Here's our arrival from Vecan. Mipro is the clearance point. We've got an initial approach fix on here. Alright, so our initial approach fix, that's on the go around, isn't it? Oh, Lupix. There we go. Lupix. And insert. Distance of 706. I've got 705 on the flight plan, so that looks like a good match to me. Was Basta on there, HD? I didn't see it. Let me just have another quick look. No, it wasn't. So I'm gonna have to stick with Lupix. I'll check the coding anyway. Erase that. Get rid of discontinuity while I'm there. Let's go all the way through this. Okay, so cross-referencing this against the chart, we should have just going up. So we've got Venken, then we've got 521, 413, 412, 411, then Zimto and Vita. Then we should have MIPRO. Then let me check. After MIPRO, it's Lupix. After Lupix, it is that looks right, actually. Let me just have a look on the flight plan page. Let's see what that looks like. Although that doesn't look right there, does it? So there's Zimto, there's Vita, there is Lupix. Suppose we could just delete one, couldn't we? Is Bastia on there? So after Lupix, we could just go Mipro and Bastia, couldn't we? Get rid of Lupix entirely. Let's try that. That looks better. There we are. Job done. Flight directors weren't on. No wonder I couldn't pop that into nav mode. Bad cockpit prep. Alright, that's all set. Don't need anything in the RadNav page. Have to leave that blank. We're going to put the holding point in for the engine out procedure, which is Willow. And we need to put those radials in there in case we need it. 284. I'll also put the outbound track, which is 104, in there as well. On to the performance page then. Sorry, the Init B page rather. Init B, how's our passenger loading doing? Are we still loading the passengers? Yes, I believe we are. Right, in that case, let's just skip a little bit on that page. We'll put the tailwind in, which is a tailwind of 20. Then I'll have to come back to that. I'll also need to come back to the performance page calculating V-speeds, etc. And that is because I need to wait until passenger loading has completed. Transition altitude here 6,000, thrust reduction, acceleration, etc. Yes, 1,196, that's been rounded up nicely. Engine out is also the same, so let me just change that. 1, 2, 0, 0. There we go. And I don't know if I have got... Oh, there we go. Thank you, HD. I've just seen the live performance calculations. So that's flaps 1 and a flex of 64. Just actually, before I forget, let's get those packs on, start getting passengers on board, then I'll go back and finish setting that page up. My self-loading cargo is not loading. Why is that happening? Oh, there we go.
Is underway and the bags are starting to get loaded, so let's open the doors and allow our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Okay, real world V speeds now in 146, 146 and 147. Just check this departure as well. Is there a speed restriction there? Yeah, 220 throughout the first turn, so that's going to be flown. Oh, that can be flown at clean speed. Oh, actually, it might not be. We'll wait and see, because I need to wait for the passenger load, the passenger weights to be added to the aircraft prior to this actually showing me what they're going to be. There you can see that's increasing as our aircraft weight increases. So I think, I've not checked this, there may be a way on the tablet to make that instant, in which case I'm going to have to set that to instant because I don't want to particularly have to wait. And I can't go in and change these, of course. They're computed by the aircraft itself. So we'll wait to see if that matches the real world performance figures, which green dot should be 217. Okay, let's we'll start doing our brief, and then I need to go back and pop all this information in. I always let the aircraft and the simulator calculate this, just so I know that that's accurate enough for the simulator. Obviously it's not real world, but it's close enough for what we need. So here we are at Gatwick. It's a nice beautiful day, great visibility. Happy to come and land back at Gatwick should we have a problem here. That's not going to cause us any issues. Our takeoff weight is going to be below the maximum landing weight, so we don't need to concern ourselves with that either. No times to be aware of, or rather let me just brief as well the aircraft. By now you know we're flying the developer build, which means we've got no ground radar, which would have been useful where we're going. We've got no TCAS, and we've got no weather radar. Again, all stuff that would be very useful. So just the normal TCAS Mel item. We need to make sure no V speeds above 1,500 feet per minute when descending or climbing, as we're getting close to our level of altitude. Threats to be aware of at Gatwick. Obviously very, very busy airspace. We've got low initial climb altitude, no ATC online though, so we should be able to go through those when we need to. Let's talk about how we're going to do the taxi and then the departure. So we are currently parked at stand 104. We'll push back, we'll face east, and then we shall taxi down on Kilo Papa, and then we'll take Alpha Sierra, and that's to holding point Alpha 1 for runway 26 left. On departure, excuse me, on departure, already briefed, we've got maximum 220 knots throughout that first turn, hopefully, and the once passing 31 miles from Detling as well. Hopefully, we'll check out those V speeds. If they are 217 or below 220, then that's what we're going to set as our initial speed on departure. No turns below 710, so we'll not turn obviously until we've passed 710 feet. We can put that into heading mode as well once we're lined up. That way, when we get the autopilot on, it's not going to turn us too soon until we're ready to put it back into nav mode. At which point then, a nice steady climb out, 4,000 feet, no ATC though, so we'll clear ourselves a little bit higher. We're not going to climb with the profile of 5,000 feet, then 600 feet. I see no reason to stay that low for so long, particularly when there's no ATC around. HT is just brought in, don't turn before 2.3 miles either. Oh yeah, we can see that there, so that's actually probably worth popping that on if that's in. Which it is. That's now auto-tuned. Something that didn't used to happen, but Flying by Wire have got that sorted, so there we go. Good to see. Okay, how are we doing with our passengers? Are they all on board just yet? Let's have a quick check. Looks like we're done. So now we can double check that payload. 16224. That's correct. There's zero fuel weight of 58.7. That matches beautifully. Right, back to the init B page. Let's finish that. Then I'll do the emergency brief. 58.7, zero fuel weight, centre of gravity. Fuel planning is 5.2, and we've got 6.9. So that gives us a takeoff weight of 65.4. Alternate fuel required. Let's go 1.1 tons. Which is an extra 35 minutes of flying time. There we go. And landing weight of 61.9. Not quite sure how accurate that is, because the fuel burn calculations at the moment in the sim are off. Okay then, let's see what the V speed is. Oh, look at that, not the V speeds, but the clean speed is indeed 217. So let's go ahead and pre-select that. Done. So just following up on that brief then, now I know that we'll fly 217. Once we get past 31 miles from Detling, then we can go into managed speed and start to accelerate away. Just to be 100% sure we know where that is, let's pop that in. VOR 2, shall we? Oh, could have done it on VOR 1. Never mind. We've got that shown. Okay, quick emergency brief then. I'm not going to spend too long over this. I do want to get out of here as soon as possible. It's quite a long flight for the stream, but we've got no ATC online, so if I've got a problem on the taxi, we'll just make a quick call on Unicom, try and solve the problem. If not, it's going to be a short stream and we'll have to taxi back to the stand. On departure, warnings before 100 knots, then I'll consider stopping, but after 100 knots up to V1, I'll just stop for the uninhibited ECAM warnings and cautions, engine fire failure, with or without thrust loss, or of course if I don't think the aircraft is safe to fly. If we call stop, then it's max reverse, keep the aircraft nice and straight on the runway, and use manual brakes if auto brake isn't doing the job. We can also pop the aircraft facing into the wind should we have had an engine fire warning, stop the aircraft, stop the reversers, set parking brakes, and then confirm the failure with the ECAM and fault lights. Once we've done that, we'd either look to vacate the runway, or if it was a serious problem such as a fire, then we'd consider running the evacuation checklist. Failure after V1, doesn't matter, we'll get the aircraft into the air. If it's an engine failure, let's get the aircraft up. Standard technique, 12.5 degrees pitch, following SRS, rudder to counteract any yaw. Once we've got a positive rate of climb, we'll get the gear up, trim out the yaw, and engage the autopilot. We've also got toga available to us as well, as we're going to be doing a flex takeoff. Confirm the failure after we've passed 400 feet, and then once the engine is secured and we're above the single engine acceleration altitude, we'll push the level off, accelerate, track flaps, and then at green dot we'll go open climb and set maximum continuous thrust. Standard engine out procedure here, 1,700 feet, a right turn to the Willow holding point. Entry is 284, the hold is left turns. Once we're at the hold, we'll decide what it is we are going to do. Right, how we do? We've got just a few passengers left to get on board. Refueling is complete, and I think all the luggage is loaded as well. Oh, there we go. Last passenger is now boarded. Let's get rid of the jetway. Fuel pumps on, seatbelt signs on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our EasyJet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Great stuff, thank you very much.
So I'm just setting that runway heading which we're going to use when we depart until we get past the first turn. Welcome everyone on board. I'll do the final checks and then once we're all ready we'll run the before start checklist.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation up here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our EasyJet Sim Pilot members, and of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
HD, you've just mentioned something about the strobes. I can see some strobes flashing there out the window, which is interesting. Let's just check. That's not me, is it? Oh, good lord. Why are they on? There we go. Strobes on auto. Now we can do the before start checklist. So, cockpit preparation. I need to start remembering that. Cockpit preparation is now complete. Our signs are on and auto it is. We've checked 3 nav green. That fuel quantity is 6980 kilograms and balanced. The FMGS is set for the Minfo 1 mic and the altimeter is 1012. So I'm just going to, in fact what I'm going to do is we'll get the simulate the nose wheel lift is turned off. Good, it doesn't take us long to mess around then. Right, let's announce on Unicom what we're going to be doing. And then we shall get ready to Okay guys, hopefully I should be back. You've missed nothing. I literally just paused everything and then hopefully you guys are back with me. If you're not back with me, hit refresh. That's completely interrupted what I was doing, but everything is now in position. Let me just run the before start checklist below the line again. So we've got the windows and doors closed and armed. Get off the fuel page. Windows and doors are closed and armed. Beacon light is on. Phone is on silent. And we have the parking brake on. So I think we're now ready to push. We've already made that call on Unicom as well. Let's have a quick look behind me actually, just to make sure that we're not going to be anyone's way. Oh, we do have an aircraft waiting. But we have made that call, so we should be good.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We're cleared for start and push. Parking brakes set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
Yeah, we'll start in the sequence.
Okay, so back we go. Just checking we've got... Oh, hang on. Hold the aircraft there, because I can see the EasyJet behind us is running. But we'll get the engine started. So, engine mode selected to ignition and starting engine 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle.
Just while we're doing that, a big welcome to Herbert Daniel, who, Herbert, I'm so sorry I missed your joining of the channel, as things were going a little bit wrong with the screen. Thank you so much, Herbert. Hope you're still here, mate. Let us know if you're on the Discord server as well, and we'll get you into the VIP
Your
room.
seatbelt is fastened, adjusted and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen.
Good evening,
Put the
Mark.
mask over
Christopher,
your
we've gone down
nose
to
and mouth.
720. That's annoying, isn't it?
Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side. to
Streamlabs.
adjust. Put on your
Having
own
issues.
mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside,
Starting engine
inflate
2.
by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open.
Oh, Christopher Shaw, we're back to 1080.
A pleasant flight
Excellent.
with EasyJet.
Tell you what, though, I would have been very, very annoyed if the simulator had crashed. The simulator kept going. It was Streamlabs that had the issue.
Easy 710 Tango, fully established ILS, 27 left. 26 left, sorry.
27 left. He's going into Heathrow.
Your parking brake.
Parking brakes set. Ground startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, so we're just waiting for that number 2. There we go. Engine number 2 is sorted. Let's do our after start flows. Engine mode selector to normal. APU bleed off. APU masters off. Anti-ice not required. And spoilers, rudder, flaps 1. Set that trim. Okay, after start checklist then, please. So anti-ice is off. Our ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim is 24.7, rudder 0. Flight controls check. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral rudder. Full right. Rudder. Full left. Neutral. Okay, so happy with everything there. Pushback tug has gone. Let's announce our taxi. Gatwick traffic, easy 96 Fox Hotel, taxi now via Kilo Papa Alpha Sierra to holding point Alpha 1, runway 26 left.
Gatwick traffic, easy 10 on a 5 is pushing back from stand 106.
Good brake check.
Heathrow traffic, establish localizer runway 27 left, 209 left.
So apologies if I am missing any questions, requests, etc. in the chat. Obviously busy time at the moment, but we've got plenty of time during cruise, etc. to go through anything.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Need to make sure I've got the charts up, because I've said before, it's so easy to get lost here at Gatwick, even with this fantastic scenery which has so much going for it.
Gatwick traffic, EJ71 Zulu Tango, vacated 26 left.
Gatwick traffic, EJ320 departing 26 left, Gatwick.
Well, that's good. I'm sure I saw him departing before he just announced that he'd vacated. Okay, quick PEDS check. QNH still 1012. Still going to be the flex takeoff 64. Engine out procedure is right hand turn at 1700 feet to the Willow holding point. Departure is the MIMFO 1 Mike. Stop altitude is 4000. So that's Alpha November. We're going to go down Alpha Sierra, which is our next left. Rare to come here and not have ATC, to be honest. That sun's getting low in the sky now, isn't it? Definitely going to be a sort of nighttime landing. So before takeoff checklist to the line, flight controls check, departure briefing is confirmed, FMA takeoff data 146 blue, 147 magenta, climb blue, 1FD2, 4000 blue, flex is 64. Just turn that primary flight display up a little bit. So we'll hold there at Alpha 1. HC has just informed us that the approach path is clear. Thank you very much. So we'll hold that just there. Let's get ourselves lined up, everyone sat down for takeoff, etc.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
Gatwick traffic easy 96 Fox Hotel, lining up runway 26 for departure on the MIMFO 1 Mike. Before takeoff, checklist below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode select is normal. TCAS TARA, packs off, anti-ice off.
Gatwick traffic easy, soon on a 5 is taxi into holding point Alpha 1 from runway 26 left via Kilo, Papa and Alpha Sierra.
Heathrow traffic, vacated runway 27 left, 209 left.
Okay, paranoia check. Packs look good. Everything down there is where it needs to be. Okay, let's just reset that chrono and then off we go. So, takeoff. Start the chrono, set 50% and 1. Engine stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS, runway. checked. V1, rotate. Fair bit of rudder going in on this departure.
Positive red climb, gear up.
Autopilot 1 is engaged. Lever climb. Thrust climb, open climb. We're in runway track actually, as opposed to heading, which is okay. That's alright. Look at that wind that's already 30 knots. Okay, so now we can go into nav mode. There's nav. Beginning that right hand turn. Our frame rates will vastly improve as we get away from Gatwick in a few minutes. There's S speed. Flap 0 and spoilers disarmed. Packs back on. Speed and Alt Star. Now I'm going to continue the climb here. I'm going to set flight level 200. And we'll do that in open climb. So thrust climb, open climb, 200 blue. It's not updated the track that we would normally follow. Again, that's just a slight bug with the sim. That'll get better as time progresses, I'm sure. Once we've passed Detling 3-1, then we can go to managed speed.
Gatwick traffic, you need to know 5 line up runway 26 left, far Alpha 1.
Good afternoon, Danny. Just seen you popped in the chat there. So there we go, we've now passed Detling 3-1. Let's get that into managed speed, which actually we've still got. Tell you what, I'm going to wind that up 250. I'll tell you why in a sec. I'm going to wind that up to 250 just because we're approaching flight level 110. We're not allowed past 250 knots until we're past 29, so I just wanted to make sure that in retrospect we would have been fine, but didn't want to bust that speed constraint either. Looks like we're passing through that anyway. There we go. We're now inbound Acorn. Pop that back into managed speed.
We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin.
We'll release the cabin crew.
Smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Danny, it went into Alt Star what you consider to be early just because we had quite a high rate of climb, so it wasn't going to take long before it was in capture mode. There we go. That's flight level 110. Let's get the lights off. Nixona, yeah, let's get that other pack on. I think we're good up to, is it flight level 240 if memory serves? Might be a bit less than that. The passengers won't have passed out. So we've just leveled off a little bit to accelerate away. Clear the radnav out and the fixers page. And let's check flight level 390 is available to us, so let's go ahead and set our cruising altitude for today. Flight level 390 blue. And we'll release the cabin.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Christopher, we had the ILS on because I needed the distance, so we couldn't begin our first turn until we were, I think it's 2.3 miles on my chart, until we were 2.3 miles away. So that's when we could begin the first turn. We can obviously turn it off now, it's not required.
Taxi, runway 23 right. Hello.
So as we get past flight level 200, I want to keep an eye on the weather and the ISA, as a few of you have been reporting that live weather is broken, so we'll see what happens to our rate of climb when we get there. Herbert, I use self-loading cargo, which for the channel members, Daniel. Herbert Daniel, sorry. For channel members, you'd be able to get in our VIP room, Herbert. So get yourself on our Discord server, and you can get those cabin crew announcements if you so wish. So say our flight time today was it 1 hour 40 minutes, so we've got about an hour and a half or so to go. Nice lengthy mid-afternoon stream, which I'm so glad that the simulator didn't crash on departure. I do always get a bit tetchy when using Gatwick, because great scenery though it is, it's demanding, isn't it? It's very demanding. Matt, so did I switch from barrow to standard, so from local pressure to standard pressure right away because I was going straight up to flight level 200? Yeah, because I was going up to a flight level above the transition altitude. There's no point in leaving it at local pressure. I left the standby at local pressure until we got nice and clear. Trini, hello sir, hope you're well. And thank you to those of you liking the stream on Facebook and sharing it on there as well. Really do appreciate that. We're still quite new on Facebook and Twitch, really. Very, very small fish in an ocean. Danny, you hearing Christmas music means you leave. Oh, don't leave, Danny. It's not full-blown Christmas music, I guarantee. I just thought, well, you know what, the kids are ripping into the advent calendars. EQ, you followed a couple of JetBlue flights in the A320. You can never seem to match their airspeed. They're going so much faster than you. I think you have to remember the simulator may not be quite accurate. Yeah. Have you not heard about the new supersonic A320s? Christopher, yes it was. Let me show you. So we can't begin the first turn until either no turns below 710 feet, well that's not going to take you very long to get to that altitude, but also no turns before 2.3 miles. So yeah, that's essentially why I had the ILS on. just so I got a distance to play with. Straight into that jet stream. Look at that. We've got... oh, what's happening here? Yep, there it goes. So I need to go weather. Turn that off. I'm going to upset some passengers. What was that ISA? 799, was it? Let's try and match it as close as we can. Few clouds. There we go. That hardly looks any different now. Herbert, is there a way that you wouldn't have to sign in every time you open the Navigraph in the game panel? No, I'm afraid not. I don't know if they could ever go ahead and fix that, but yeah, sadly not. Has to be done every time. So shame we don't have real live weather. I quite was enjoying that that wind coming down from the north. All that Arctic air. Are we going to get snow again here in the UK? Heading out to Dover now, aren't we? Just peer over the glare shield. There's Dover down there. Christopher, you never knew that. Well, glad you've learned something today, Christopher. And it's essentially what the channel was made for. I learned something on every single flight. Oh, would you look at that? Air traffic control's just arrived at Gatwick now. Too late, we've now gone. Never mind. HD. You can't say that. Nick, that's a good shout. I could use Rex Weather. I have got it. I've not actually got it installed. Otherwise, that would have been a good idea. I'm going to have to get it installed, aren't I, for occasions just such as this. Once we get back down to around 17,000 feet on the approach, I'll get live weather turned back on, because I think it's only bust, isn't it, for the higher altitudes. Maybe someone can create a mod for those dinghies, HD. If they can do it for the ships stuck in the Suez Canal, then why not? Christopher, it is going to be freezing this weekend. Oh, I hope not. I think I've got to spend quite a bit of time outside this weekend. Stephen Humphries, good evening. How are you? Is it evening? It's still the afternoon. It's only 3:30 here in the UK. And yet, with the sun setting, that's how I know it's going to be dark, actually, when I go outside to walk Captain George after the stream. I've no windows in my office, which I like. It's immersive for the sim when I turn the lights out. Which I don't do very often because it annoys HD. But being able to see just how dark it is, seeing the sun setting as it sets at exactly the right time. MFS Pilot, it has been a long time, welcome back. Antrak, good to see you as well, good afternoon. Slowly edging closer to the weekend and Christmas. HD, it says for QNH above 1050, the airline needs approval to operate the pressure setting that high. No one's ever been able to answer you as if you're approved or not. Well, you know, with climate change, we may get that in the UK one day. Christopher Shaw, yeah, we've got high altitude issues. What was it, about 20,000 feet, something like that? I'm pretty sure I saw the ISA shoot up to about 799. 799 degrees Celsius above what it should be. Nick, congrats to First Officer George on his promotion to Captain. Well, you know, he's been a channel member for a while now. It's usually just as about this sort of time, and perhaps maybe in an hour or so, that a lot of ATC come online over Europe, so that would be quite nice if that was the case. Now, Danny, you've just looked online to see what the highest QNH ever reported was, and it was 1083. Wow. HD, what are you on about? Chicks and bones? I'm not going to Google that. Herbert, you don't understand why Microsoft keeps making things good like the live weather and then it breaks after a few weeks. I would imagine, Herbert, it's not something Azobo have done. It may just be the servers are not talking to each other or something daft like that. Could be anything, couldn't it? What I will say is Azobo are usually pretty quick at sorting stuff like this out. Oh, HD, the highest you've seen was 1049, which is why it sparked your interest. Thank goodness it never got to 1050. Yeah, the aircraft falls out of the air then. Noshani on Facebook, hello. Okay, Adria Radar was online, but now he's gone. I may come back. And thank you for the like as well. Nashari, no, the like and the follow. Thank you so much. So I'm keeping a close eye on my VS speed just because of the Inop TCAS. All's looking good at the minute. Now over La France. That looks nice, doesn't it? Even though you know it's not live weather. You knew something was going wrong when that jet stream started to suddenly disappear. Cardinal 22, how dyslexia can turn things dirty real quick. Is that like Saving Ryan's Privates? Matt Warren, is that what has been causing the wind to abruptly change mid-flight and causing the tail to flip over? Been happening almost every flight view. This is the first time I've seen it happen, so I think this is a new problem that's arisen today. Antonius, thank you for liking on Facebook. Dark fly-by-wire has too many hands in too many pies. Well, they've only got the 2 aircraft that they're working on, haven't they, at the moment? Hey, Cardinal 22, you know, the only time I can be dirty with all the kids in my house is, that didn't come out right. The only time I can be sort of borderline is here when I'm with you guys. I have to keep it clean around the kids. Harvest Moon, is the map working again? Yesterday the route didn't show up. I don't think the route does show up anymore in the developer version, and that is because it doesn't use the Azobo flight planner. So if I turn the VFR map on, I don't think there'll be a flight plan there. No, it won't be, because it's not using the Microsoft Flight Simulator flight planner or the Azobo flight planner. I do love the fact... Oh, I didn't know I could get VATSIM traffic on here. That's really handy. Oh, I'm going to be able to spot Nick a mile off. Ha! You've been ousted. Let's get rid of that for now. Jensen, don't use the experimental version anymore, Jensen. Use the dev build. The experimental is now a bit obsolete. I'm quite enjoying these sort of semi-festive beats. It's Kalo. Yesterday you flew to Ljubljana, where we're going to today, and the controller made you fly against a mountain. Really? Oh, do you mean, are you talking default ATC? Oh yeah, well in that case, I can absolutely believe it. Matt, did I start? I've got to be quiet just in case our kids can hear me. Did I start the elf on a shelf? Yeah, you know I sounded super... Yes, we did. For our sins. I did a good one last night. So, the girls all turned 3 on Sunday. So we just had about 20 balloons around the house, which do my blooming head in. So I thought, you know what, the elf's going to pop them all. So I did. I went through a wait last night, popped all the balloons, and I managed to get a balloon, and I managed to shove the elf in a balloon and blow it up. So today the elf was stuck in a balloon. He can stay there. It's Kello. It was VATSIM ATC that flew you into a mountain. I'd like to have seen that recording. Drini, you hope we can do a snowy flight? Well, I'll get live weather back on. It's just for the cruise that I've not got live weather on, but I'll get live weather back on once we are once we're below about 20,000 feet. Okay, 1,000 feet to go. So I've got about an hour and 20 minutes flying time left. This is the life. This is how to spend an afternoon. How many of you are watching this while working? Working in inverted commas. OKTM, TKS hasn't been working in the A320NX since they merged the dev build with the experimental build. It's Kyla. Oh, it's good that you could laugh about your impending death. Yeah, that's good. Hey Scott, good to see you. Mark, you're watching us while working again. Adolfo, you're also doing it as well. Cardinal 22, you're also watching these while working. Oh, excellent. Jensen, you've just got back from school. You should be doing homework. V1, you're working from home. Love that username. Say, I'm hoping to do more flights during the day when, as we get towards the festive season. Matt Warren, you're working right now, making the mornings fly by. Matt, you in the USA then, mate? Mac Alt Star. And Alt Cruise. John Brace, you're working in Tibli. I can't. If it's got too many vowels in it, I can't pronounce it. Georgia, on business, and you're watching the streams, loving them. Oh, thanks so much, John. Glad we're keeping you entertained. Who has been cleaning this this windshield? Seriously, they need sacking. They've had a stone in their sponge. I'm a dude, you recently retired, so you're not being naughty anymore. Chris Patton, you're in your office cube as well. What, with other people around you? Oh, get them to sign in. Paul Warren, you've just finished work, no time to fly, so this is the next best thing. I absolutely agree. So Matt, you're in Arizona. Wonderful. Won't be long before that sun's below the horizon.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, just to let you know that we have reached our cruising altitude for today, and we are not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our EasyJet Sim Pilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Oh, Nick, I did it again, mate. Thanks very much. Right, well, I wasn't really doing too much anyway. I was just getting some en route weathers, which you can now see. So, there we go. Look at that, 8,000 meters. Bit of rain. Few clouds, 100 feet. I'll need to crank the charts out, see when low vis is in. QNH 999 hectopascals. Nick, I always forget I've muted it. It's usually when my throat's drying up and I'm grabbing a drink. You don't need to hear me sloshing around. That looks all okay, doesn't it? So yeah, just noticed we've passed over Brussels, Charleroi, we've got Luxembourg ahead. HD, what can I show you? Drini, what we're looking for. Let me search what minimum safe altitude circles mean. Oh, hang on. I'll show you. So, is it on here? There we go. So, as we're going to be coming in and making our approach, we can see here the minimum safe altitudes in a 25-mile radius out from the Dulsko VOR. In this sector is 5,300, and then in this little sector here between these radials is 9,500. Oh, go on, do you want me to put in a MSA circle in? Oh, right, go on then. Let me do it. So, let's go to the fixes page. What was that VOR? DOL. Pop that in. Nick, rather embarrassingly, yeah, I did answer that question about updates. I'm going to summarise it this time. I've no idea. They're doing final tests on the TCAS. I know that much. What are those radials? 120. What's the other one? 230. Oh, it would help if I'm on the plan mode, wouldn't it? There we go. So as we're coming in, I've now got oh, what a numpty. I put the wrong radials in. Yeah, I've put the outbound in rather than the inbound. Hang on, let me go and fix it. What would be really nice, what would be really nice on charts and things, is if so we didn't have to quickly do mental arithmetic, is if we could have the reciprocals shown as well. There we go. Yeah, so there you can see as we're coming in, I've put my minimum safe altitude 25-mile circle around the Dul VOR, as it's shown there, and then I know if I'm flying in this sector, minimum safe altitude is 5,300 feet, and then if I somehow stray into this sector, which we shouldn't do on our flight today, then it's 9,500 feet. There it is. Given that it's overcast at 3,000 feet though, it's probably not a bad idea having that on, to be honest. Prismo Gaming, I use AIG. Whilst I'm messing around with the fixers page, I should probably put some information in regarding the missed approach for our arrival, because that's quite a procedure as well. So use our time wisely. So missed approach, climb straight ahead to the marker west, which we're not going to have here in our flight plan, but it is 2.2 miles from Ljubljana VOR, so I can get that in the RadNav page and use that. Once we've got to 2.2 miles, we turn left 185 knots to head 137 and intercept the 172 LBL radial. At 13 miles from LBL, turn left to intercept the 232 inbound to the Dol VOR, and that's where we'd enter the hold. Oh, I was going to do that. I thought we're going to be crossing the Alps today. Let's get it in. Hey, Willie. Good to see you. Wayne, I don't think I've said hello to you either, mate. Hi, Wayne. Good to have you on board. Oh, DGAD. And those radials for that is 225 and 090. So there's that Alps crossing. That's interesting. Oh, I was wondering what that blue line was then. That's sort of a that's the infinity line coming out now from the LBL VOR, isn't it, for our MSA sector? So HC, make the missed approach nice and easy, don't overcomplicate it given it's not in the flight plan. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's not that bad. And I also know from reading the briefs to this airport that ATC's discretion can just turn you back round and you can just come back in as long as it's your visual. You just come back in, can't you? Straight in and back round. But yeah, make sure we get above MSA, which, as we've just been talking about, is 5,300 feet. Has that sun disappeared yet? Oh, he's going. Love seeing the city lights emerging as well. Should we just sit here and watch the sunset together? Captain Matt, hello. Drini, the CRJ is a nightmare to learn how to fly compared to the 320. Yeah, I'm with you on that. We'll go ahead and we'll do our arrival brief in a little while, but happy to fill out the RadNav page at the moment. If we haven't got anything or too much traffic behind us, I'd be happy doing that. Get above MSA, left hand turn. I can understand why they're doing this on the missed approach, just because of this terrain just here, isn't it? But we should be okay as long as we make that turn 185 knots or less. to 137, and then we can just come back. Just need to be aware of any traffic that may be behind us trying to land, of course. Lee J on Facebook, hello to you. Jean-Marie, bonjour de la France. Must be tea time.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Some static on VATSIM this evening. It's obviously people communicating on Unicom that are just out of range because there's good degradation, VHF degradation, which is implemented. Makes everything sound nicely realistic though. Why can I hear Captain George whinging? I'm going to reduce him back down to first officer. I think someone's locked him in the garage. We have to do that. When he has a drink, we have to lock him in the garage because he just drips water everywhere. Lee J, do I have an idea when the release for the RNAV is in the A320NX? You can do RNAV approaches now, Lee J. You just have to do it in nav FPA mode. There is a link on. There's a video on the channel which shows you how to do that. So go ahead and search for the EasyJet Sim Pilot channel for RNAV approaches, and hopefully that'll get you down. No problem. Screen's a bit bright, isn't it? Right, we'll be on the ground in a little under 1 hour's time. Drini, yeah, the aircraft, the CRJ not having auto thrust is, well, keeps you on your toes, doesn't it, if nothing else? When you hit an invisible object. Milan today. That is why, although obviously some say it's not very realistic, that is why I have crash detection turned off. I'd like to think none of my landings would end up in a crash, but I turn crash detection off just because you can hit a bump in the runway or something daft like that. Nick says it wasn't him. Danny, you don't get why people find the CRJ difficult to learn and fly. My guess is that they either don't have the patience, i.e. me, or they just don't want to. I think it's because I've got all my eggs in my Airbus basket, Danny. Alan, do I know why above flight level 230 your plane's going crazy? Yes, at the moment live weather above flight level 230 is broken in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so you just have to put on you just have to put on a pre-setting. Once you're back below flight level 230 though, switch back to live weather and you should be fine. Lee J, do I know if anyone's making an A340 for Microsoft Flight Simulator? I've no idea. HT, that'll be the crater you keep digging. I don't know, HT. You're digging craters in Milan. You're trying to flatten the hump at Manchester. Wayne, it ended your flight a little prematurely, and you were looking forward to your self-loading cargo debrief as well. Well, I hope everybody is enjoying their Thursday afternoon, early evening stream today. There's some really strong jet streams coming from the north, isn't there today? I'm just looking at the SIGMET charts. If we'd been flying in live weather, we've got potential for turbulence, icing. It's almost a shame we can't do it, really. Lee J, request to fly over the Philippines. You know, I do miss long-haul Monday flights. Or long-haul Fridays and mileage Mondays, weren't they? I do miss those. Sadly, the world of workers sort of got in the way there. They were the COVID years, weren't they? Thomas, thanks so much for subscribing. Hope you're having a great flight with us today. Night lighting's looking beautiful again, isn't it, in the sim? But I flew yesterday, I had no problem with live weather. Obviously we flew Tuesday evening, again no problem with live weather. So that was all well and good. Wayne asks Nick, are you sure you didn't nip in front of me with the express purpose of pinching your gate? Nick can neither confirm or deny. Nick in his stealth aircraft. Did I tell you guys about the simulator I was in the other day? Which was based on X-Plane 11 and flying over the UK with the Orbex scenery. The UK scenery from Orbex. And you'd look down and you could see emergency blue lights flying up and down the main roads. Not all over the place, just occasionally of course, but highly realistic. Would love to see something like that added to the sim. Although I'm not quite sure we'd see it from this sort of altitude, 39,000 feet up. But certainly as you're coming down. Wayne, are we doing French? I understood Mars bar and a pack of chips. EQ, didn't we have this problem with the weather a couple of months back? We did, but it was broken after a live update. This seems to have happened spontaneously, which suggests it might not be something Azobo is doing. It might be the nav blue, I think, where that's causing that. Mark, was that on X-Plane? Yes, it was. Yeah. Oh, Christian, welcome back. You're done with your flight. Where did you go? HD, as long as they don't add lasers. Do you know, I am so surprised how often I read on the Aviation Herald site about lasers being fired at aircraft. I just don't get it. What is the point? What are they trying to achieve? Elliot, that's highly realistic because your area is high in crime. Oh, you mean the area I was flying over? Funnily enough, it was Liverpool. Really, one of your teachers from the USA has such a hard time saying your name. I don't get it. I say it correctly every time. Do you know why, Trini? It's because it hasn't got vowel after vowel after vowel. Wayne, yeah, the ISA shot up to about 799 degrees on our flight a little bit ago. Flying Medic, enjoying the stream, and you're still learning. Me too, Flying Medic, so we're one of the same there. The one thing that I guess I can't understand is if you are going to get a laser and fire it into the flight deck, you've got to be at a serious angle because you can't be directly underneath the aircraft. As I understand it, you've got to be at an angle, so almost like a, well, I don't know, a sort of 70-60 degree angle to the aircraft coming in. Well, yeah, lasers on aircraft, the common denominator of society, is pathetically stupid. Christian just going in there with airliners need homing missiles to track the source of the laser. I'm sure there's technology that does do that. Lewis, which scenery am I... no, try again. Which scenery am I using for Ljubljana? I am... do you know what? I don't know. It's from flightsim.to. So it's freeware scenery. Freeware scenery we're using today. Oh, HD, that's an interesting concept. Usually go into stealth mode and just turn all your lights off. Presumably at that point you're not like 1,000 feet from touching down somewhere. Christian, yeah, the new A320 Neo Plus comes with active laser seeking technology. Willie, the A320 with missiles is likely a thing. Really? I thought that turn was just going on for a bit longer than I'd would have expected it to, so I thought let's just jump back in the flight deck and check that we're all good. But yeah, all is looking well. Let's do a fuel check. Where have we just passed? Kilo Romeo Hotel. $52 minutes, 55 minutes, so a little behind actually. We should have 4.2. What we got? Oh, 4.2. Bang on. And this is a fuel factor of 10. Love it when a plan's come together. Bruno, you can forget the missiles, you can just dump the toilet waste tank on top of them. If only they could. Sadly they can't. Unless you pee in the sink, but we spoke about that before. Wayne says digital and Willie and Wayne all discussed an airliner version of the Spitfire to stop Nick from nipping in front of us on finals. Nick, you're going to be ripped for this forever, mate, by the way. Where was that? Was it Bristol? John, no, sadly not. Sadly not. This would be like a busman's holiday if I did, wouldn't it? I do like spotting the constellations though. Do you know what? That is unbelievably realistic. I was out walking First Officer George last night, quite late. There's a field near us. Well, it's actually a park, I think, although... yeah, potentially, thanks to the council, it could be reclassified as a field, which is very, very dark. So if you're out there on a cold, crisp night, as it was last night, you can see literally thousands of stars. And last night, so Orion should be just below the horizon, down here somewhere, coming up very shortly. And then you can see, I don't know this constellation, but I was struck by this sort of like triangle in the sky just here, and then you've got one of these nebulas as well, but they're all there. I saw these in real life last night, and I'm pretty certain I'll see them tonight as well, if the weather's clear. Christian, your flight today was funny. You knew there was a live weather bug, so you kept your eyes on the temperature the whole time through the climb. The moment the temperature went to 500 degrees, it felt like a whale fell on your aircraft. Yeah, something similar happened here. So this should be the stage of the flight where the cabin crew come in and bring HD his tea, his cake, maybe a sandwich, packet of crisp, refill his drink, take the old ones away, put his feet up on the glare shield and try not to doze off. Abdul, yes, live weather is broken again from today. Well, I'm hoping it's only a temporary problem, given that it's not been caused by an update or anything, so it might just be something to do with the servers. Venus is very bright in the southwest sky currently. It is. Always comes round in December. Let's... do you know what, should we just... shift over HD. There. Let's have a look. Not sure when Venus rises. Tell you what is weird. When you're flying this aircraft on VR and you can lean right over and stick your head out of the window. That's a little disorientating. Danny, it's so hard to imagine that there are more stars in the universe than there are sand grains on Earth. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And that's why I know we're not alone, and every UFO HD has seen is completely real. Diane, hello, you just noticed that we're flying to Ljubljana, your home airport. Brilliant! Diane, spell it phonetically for me, because my pronunciation sucks. It's more to our immediate right. Well, hang on then. Can any of the passengers see it? I mean, I don't actually know if the planets are here in the sim. All the stars, constellations are, etc. But they're perhaps a little easier to model, aren't they? Christian, you think the arrow is Cepheus? Have you just googled that? Theo Mark, yes, it is a handcrafted airport for you today. Danny, that's how I've been calling it, yeah. It's Lima Juliet. We're landing at Lima Juliet. We're going to start talking about this approach pretty soon. Wayne, most UFO sightings in America are within 2 miles of a pub. Actually, we've got to remember is we're a lot further south now of the UK, aren't we? Right, so let's start looking at what I'm going to need to do for our brief. Let's just get some. Let's get the RadNav page sorted, shall we? So we are going to pop in. Lima Bravo Lima. Get that in there. Just in case I need it, we can also pop in Delta Oscar Lima. And we've got the ILS frequency in there as well, which is 110.5. Uh-oh, guys. I think we're in for a sim crash. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, what happened there? I was trying to click and move the screen and nothing was happening. If it does go wrong, let's remember we're 105 miles from Umveg. We've just left Utaba. Oh, I do hate that. Shouldn't be this way. I've got kids that give me grey hairs without adding the simulator to the issue. Channel 22, I think it depends on the airline, but obviously they get a normal salary, and then I think they also get, like, I don't know, flight pay, so they may get something per flight, but I'm pretty certain every airline is different. Oh, guys, it all went wrong. Huh. Oh, I'm going to try and restart this. But I've got the waypoint we were last headed towards. I got the fuel we got on board before everything crashed. I made sort of like a quick note of that. So I'm going to try and do my patented restart formula. And we'll get ourselves back on board, shall we? Christian, you know there's a problem when there's a dedicated restarting soon. Yeah, sadly. Danny, you've travelled to heaven and back. HD, there was a sim crash. Well, there was just a general PC crash overall, sadly, which was annoying to say the least. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know if it is the Gatwick, you know. It's just so intense right at the start, whether it hugs some horses. I've seen a few people saying that. Danny, the QR8 says, in situations like this, head to SimBrief, download your flight plan, load it back into the sim, and start your flight at your last known waypoint. Which is exactly what we shall be doing. Need to get those charts up and work out how we're going to do this approach. Tell you what, should we just brief the approach whilst waiting? That's a good idea. Okay, so we are going to begin our flight at Umveg, if I can find it. Okay, so as you can see, we're not that far away at that point. So Umveg, this is where the flight is going to begin. Nick, will that work out? Fly-by-wire doesn't do the sim brief flight plans. I guess we'll find out together. Pretty certain that it will. So, because it used to on the experimental version, and they only moved the 2, didn't they? DC Gear, I am not using the new NVIDIA update, so I can't blame that for it, sadly. So, we're gonna begin the flight just here at Amveg. And let's work out what we're going to do. I need to work out how far away we're going to start at the top of descent. We're going to be at flight level 290, all being well, when we get launched back in. Did I say 290 just then? I meant 390. So let's work out how we're going to do our descent. So I want to be flight level, let's call it, we'll go for here. So we're going to go flight level 120 by the time we get at Ljubljana 413. So at 81 miles from 413, that's where I want to begin the top of descent. I'm just making notes of this while the simulator reloads. So that's Lima Juliet 413. Okay, and then we're obviously going to descend with the profile, and then I want to be 5,000 feet at Vita. Now we're obviously quite high. Let's have a quick look at the platform altitude at this point as well. So what is the platform altitude? Platform altitude is there. It's 4,000 feet. We're landing on runway, what is it? Is it 30? Yeah, ILS 30. So 5,000 feet at Vita. Max speed 200 knots. Before that, of course, max speed 230 knots. So if we can get green dot by the time we get to Zimto Livita flaps 1, and we've only got 3.7 miles to do, that's fine. So we'll get flaps 1 out there, then flaps 2 not long after that. We're already going to be hopefully around 180 knots by that point. So that's how I plan to do the approach. Now all we've got to do is actually get in. Come on, Flight Sim, how are we doing? I bet we're still loading, aren't we? Takes a while, sadly. The blue line at the bottom is still moving though, so that's good. I wanted this flight to have done by 5 PM local time. Oh, I'm going to get shot. I might have to see what other waypoints I could potentially jump to. Probably not that many, to be fair. That's the start of the approach, isn't it? We may have to start right on the approach just because of time constraints. As long as we can get in there and do the approach, that's the main thing. We can finish the flight off. We've done the cruise, we've now done a brief. A couple of other things we want to be aware of then as we talk about this brief. So the transition altitude for our arrival is going to be, how strange is that? 10,500 feet. Minimum safe altitude, we'd already spoken about this during the cruise, so as you can see, minimum safe altitudes we're coming in is 5,300 feet. We shouldn't ever fly really into this sector here, where it's obviously higher. And the weather, has anyone got the latest weather for us at the moment? Is it actually snowing? Just grab my app, have a quick look. Chat amongst yourselves. So latest weather, visibility is still 800 meters. Few clouds at 100 feet. So still technically it's Cat 1. So our decision altitude 1,391. 1,391. Current QNH is 999, and the touchdown elevation is 1191. Missed approach altitude then is getting up to 6,000 feet. Nearly got us loaded in. Oh, this music sounds festive, doesn't it? Let's all study the approach chart. Okay, the severe turbulence around flight level 170. That's probably due to the live weather being broken. Right, let's see if we can rescue this. Thankfully, don't have to do this too often. Right, so if we can start this at Umveg, see, yeah, okay, let's try that and see if we can get ourselves in and down. If it turns out I'm going to be well above the profile for the place it loads us, I will have to cheat, press the Y button and slew ourselves down. I should have turned live weather off before this, shouldn't I, actually? Dan, you have some rain as well, yes. So, wind is 290 at 4. QNH is 999. Temperature is 2. Dew point is 2 as well, so maybe some mist and fog forming. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with me through this. I know it's a pain. A real pain. Put your hands up if you are in the chat and have never had a crash to desktop. I am wondering about, I keep saying this, I am wondering about nuking the PC and doing a fresh install of stuff. But it's finding the time to do it. Christian, loving the emoji for the cat one ILS. Simon says for sticking with you. Oh, you're very welcome, Simon. Will you say very rarely? I mean, that's good. That's very good. I don't have SSD yet. Will you now? Should I be concerned that I'm looking at Gatwick? Oh, that's annoying. Did I not select that waypoint? Right, in that case, can't you use the jump button? I'm back in Gatwick. I don't want to be back in Gatwick. I was in Gatwick 2 hours ago.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Let's have a look. Do I want to travel to cruise? Yeah, keep lifetime. See where this plonks us. I thought it was taking a heck of a long time to load. It doesn't normally take that long to load when you're at 39,000 feet up. It's just loaded Gatwick back in again, hasn't it? We'll probably crash in a minute or two. Christian, you've only crashed the desktop maybe once in 3 months or so. I mean, that's very, very good. So, let's see where on earth we actually are. I'm going to hit pause there. Where on earth are we? Turn that off. That's better. Right, where is Umweg? Is that even there? Oh, that's annoying. Do you know what? I'm not actually sure this is going to work, guys. Init press, data requests, get that in there. If I clear that out, will it allow me to... Oops. Can I clear that? No, that's not allowed. There's Dover, Vecken. Right, that's the start of the approach. How far away is that? Oh, 384 miles. Wow. We're miles away. Let's see if this works. If not, guys, I am so sorry, but I don't think we're going to be able to rescue it. Die-hard channel members sticking with us through a time of crisis. Thank you so much. I just wish it was possible to diagnose what the actual problem was. Oh, pea soup. Right, we're paused. Let's get that on. I can't see a thing. There we are. We're at 412, 11,000 feet. Let's have a look. 412 at 11,000 feet. Actually, that's pretty close to being on profile, but we now need to work out what on earth we're going to do with this. So let's get that in managed speed. Let's get that in nav. Let's get that set to 7,000. And we'll pop that into open descent. Autopilot 1 on, get the auto thrust on as well. Otherwise we're going to overspeed. Local pressure, which is going to be 999. Destination data, let's fill that in as well. So that QNH was 999 hectopascals. Temperature is 2. Wind was, what was the wind? 290 at 4. Transition altitude is 10,800. Is that an ice warning that I've just heard? Let's get that on. Landing lights are on. Right, so I basically just want to go ahead and check everything's looking how it should be. We've got the anti-ice on. I'm going to put the lights are on. They don't need to be on just yet. Turn those off. Seatbelt signs by this point should be on. So all on the overhead looks good. FCU, get the constraints on. Leaving that in nav mode. That will hopefully come back in when I take it off the pause setting. Pressure's set. Let's just check the actual arrival. We've got runway ILS 30. What was the arrival plan? It is the Venken 2 Romeo. And that was via Lupix, which we then cleared out, if I recall. So set that. Clear the discontinuity. Oh, something's quite wrong there, isn't it? Right, hang on a sec. Oh, it's taking me back. Right, so let's go direct to... Just check all this way through. Right, now we can go direct to 411, which is there. Pop that into nav. Not quite sure where it's wanted to take us after that. So let me just check the flight plan. 411 Zimpto Vilta Mipro. Clear out Lupix. Clear the discontinuity. And that should be it. There we go. Sorted. Right, I think we're good. Flaps are up. Speed should be 250 knots by this point. Okay, guys, let's try it. Oh, one last thing. 110.5. That's fine. And just for my situational awareness, Lima Bravo Lima. 12 miles away. That's in. Okay, I think we're good. Let's see what happens, shall we? Landing system on and fly. Cabin pressure warning. Yeah, ignore that. That happens when we do this. Thrust idle. Open descent. Watch the speed tape. What's happening with the speed? Not quite sure why it's doing that. Oh, goodness me. Right, there we go. Blue triangle. So, hopefully now, if we continue on this descent, and I can put autopilot re-engaged. There we go. Flight director's looking much better. So we should be targeting 250 knots, thrust idle, we've got open descent, 7,000 blue. Medium auto brake, why is that on? I think that was just put on by default for the sim. Let's get that to low. So we want green dot at Vita, we also want 5,000 feet at Vita. Let's slow that rate of descent down as well, we don't need to go that much, because we're now below the profile. and looking a decent VS rate. We've got about 1,000 feet to lose. Minute to go. So let's set that 1,000 feet per minute. Can we clear the cabin pressure problem? There we are. Seatbelt signs are on. Kind of wish the terrain was working as well. Sadly, it's not. Christian just opened a window. Cabin pressure should be good. Okay, now I'm over with everything HD. Yes, I'll get your light off, but I am turning that up a little bit. There we go. Let's continue down 6,000 blue. Mode change there. Well, at least, if nothing else, we should hopefully get a landing in. Sadly, it wasn't how I wanted it to be done, but what can you do? Dan 5800. Yes, we did get the weather bug. We did indeed get the weather bug. Okay, we're going to level off at 6,000 feet here. I'm now going to go manage speed. Ooh. Hang on. Activate the approach phase. There we go. So we'll start slowing down now to green dot. Alt. Oh, I didn't put the minimums in, which was 1391. What's it slowing us down to here? Where is my green dot? I don't think that's right. Or if it is, it's not. Oh, there it is. It is right. Oh, how low? We've got no passenger weight. We've got a dry empty aircraft now. That's why it's so low. Can I add the payload? What was the payload? Right, let's get down to 5,000 feet. Payload was 16 ton. That'll do. Oh, it's not even synced anymore, so it won't work. Okay, we're just flying an empty aircraft. Here comes the glide slope. Let's go flaps 1. We're going to continue down to platform altitude 4,000 feet. Let's slow off that rate of descent. 1,000 feet per minute should do. Looks rather turbulent, doesn't it? $14 miles out, 185. Reduce that to 18. Get flaps 2 out so we're nicely configured. Okay, let's activate the approach. Lock, start, alt, glide slope, blue, Gatwick, dual, autopilot 1 and 2. And we're about to capture that glide slope. Sadly not on VATSIM anymore, but never mind. HD, empty aircraft always lands like you've crashed. Brilliant. That's just what we're after. Well, it was overcast until around 3,000 feet, wasn't it? So that should be interesting. 2,500. rid of that warning. Right, glide slope star. Missed approach altitude is set. 10 miles out. So we're going to start to reduce our speed as well.
2,500.
In a second, let's kill the music and try and concentrate on the landing. So it said few clouds at about 100 feet.
2,500.
What was our decision altitude? 1391. Interesting. I have no ground contact. So, I'm also slightly concerned by the fact that my altitude is now hardly moving, even though I'm allegedly doing 1,000 feet per minute and we're 6.5 miles out. Let's go speed, landing gear, spoilers. This could be an absolute mess, but thank God it's only a simulator. Flaps 3.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing. 1,000.
Just turn the landing lights off for a minute. See if I can see a little bit more. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed. Go around altitude 6,000 set. Ecam memo landing no blue. The standby seems to be showing the same as the other one. What was the airport elevation? 1191. This is interesting. Oh, the Sims crashed. Ah. Oh no! Something was going wrong with that altimeter, wasn't it? Clearly, someone did not want us to get into that airport today. Well, but that's all, folks. Yeah, Christian, that seems about right. And I'm thinking, I can't see any lights. We apparently appear to be going down, but not very quickly. Standard. Oh, what can you do? I wonder if it is the add-on scenery that it didn't like. Maybe we'll get that out of the community folder. Although I think A320 sim pilot yesterday flew out of here, so I don't think he had a problem. Don't know. Maybe over Christmas we need to do a full sim reinstall. I'm always convinced that update after update after update isn't quite as good as a full sim reinstall. Christian, notice this was a freeware scenery from flightsim.to. Potentially outdated, but as I say, 320 sim pilot flew it yesterday. Never mind. We tried, guys. I tried twice. Sadly, I haven't got the time to relaunch it and try a third time. If you want to get your sim fix, check out some of the latest videos on the channel, and let me know how you got on with the base trading video as well. That's the latest one. Give you guys something to do. Willie, I do. Well, there we go. Right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the takeoff. I hope you enjoyed the cruise, and we'll not talk about the landing and descent. But never mind. We can only put the effort in and see what happens. Tomorrow night we'll be back. We'll be back with a live stream tomorrow night. Maybe nowhere in Eastern Europe. to try and keep things safe. Alright guys, I look forward to seeing you all again on the next time. Thanks so much for persevering in the last half hour or so. I was trying to get that working again. Never mind. Let's see what happens tomorrow night, when hopefully we'll have quite a lot of ATC on as well. We normally get that on a Friday night, so look forward to that. To those of you that were flying alongside me, good lord, I hope you touched down safely. And thank you so much everybody else for watching and for making my Thursday afternoon enjoyable until the sim crashed. Good night everyone. Bye bye.